tough. What's going on? What's going on?
I guess we'll start with the kickoff returns. Quez Watkins had some issues. You went to Jalen. What was your thought process behind that?
The thought process was just how the game was going. You saw Quez kind of went down late in the first half. And it was actually a cool experience between those two receivers. And like I've been telling you guys, we keep all the returners ready for whatever happens. And he got banged up, and Jalen came up to me. He's like, hey, I see Quez is kind of banged up. I'll take this, just take a little load off his plate. And, when you have guys like that want to help each other out for the betterment of the team, it's awesome. And Jalen saw his moment, and 44 yards later, he took it. So it was actually just a really cool moment to see two young guys, not like a veteran guy or something like that, two young guys really having each other's back just for the betterment of the team, and it helped us, get closer in that game. We set up a nice little scoring drive, easy for an offense that's kind of gelling to go only 56 yards with a big return like that. So hopefully we keep that thing going for the rest of the year, and opposing teams now have to wonder who's back there, which is great for us. But they've both been doing phenomenal jobs for us, and once again, it takes. In that instance, it took all 10 for Jalen to get that big return. There was great blocks on the front side by two young guys, Patrick and Zach. The back side with veteran guys, they communicated, hey, I'm going to take this guy, you take that guy, with TJ and Alex and Andre. So it was just a lane that hit, and he hit it, and 44 yards later, it was really good for us.
Mike, was there already a consideration of getting Jalen involved more in the kickoff returns at some point?
Just as the game went, obviously we didn't get any punt returns where he gets his touches, so it wasn't like going into the game plan, hey, we're going to get 1-8 in there. It just happened organically like that, and it helped out the team. But once again, it goes back to getting these guys ready through training camp. They get their reps in the regular season during walkthrough 1s and 2s and stuff like that. Whoever's number is called, they're going to be ready for it. And that's my job for us to do, is to have them ready at the drop of a hat. We all know injuries are a part of the game. And Quez got banged up just a little bit at the end of the first half. Jalen stepped up next, and he had a really good return for us.
Were you part of a game where there wasn't a punt?
No. I think there's only been 5 in the history of the game, so I guess it's nice to be part of that history. But Aaron's very sore from doing absolutely nothing besides holding. But no.
Not at any level, though.
No, not at any. Maybe high school, but definitely not college. Definitely not the NFL. So it's one of those things that as you get through the motion of the game, like, wow, really haven't punted, which is kind of weird, but I'll take it.
What does Aaron do during, today with film review?
We ask Aaron all the questions. No, Aaron, for the specialists, they're always in every meeting, so they know the whole game plan. So they're into what we're doing, whether it's kickoff return, punt, kickoff. He does have to watch his holds, which is a big game for him. Getting those down, and we got 12 points from our field goal unit, which was huge to keep us in the game. So Aaron, he's not. We didn't give him a pillow or a blanket for him to take a nap during that session, but he's always into what we're talking about.
With Quez and Jalen, when you put them in their roles as kick returner, punt returner before the season, why did you like each of them in those roles?
Just going back to what their college tape like. They didn't have a lot of opportunities last year with different situations, but Quez at Southern Miss was a very good kick returner. And you see that speed he has. It's 4.3 speed, and for a guy to hit a lane and go 4.3, it's going to be tough for a kicker or the backside safety to make a play. At Jalen at TCU, he was dynamic. You give him some lanes to get downhill, and you guys saw it. When he gets a screen, when he catches the screen, he can make people miss. He can get downhill. That's what a punt return really is. But Jalen also is a dual threat returner, which, kudos to him. He's ready for that. So they both, have their own upside in each phase, but they both, more so, Jalen can do both compared to Quez. Punt returning is a little bit different than kickoff return. Definitely how the ball comes off the foot, and it takes some guts and some skill to be a punt returner and a kick returner. Obviously, we've had some success back in the past with Sproulsy being a dual threat returner, but for Jalen, it's just another confidence booster for him. He's done a heck of a job for us. Getting some big returns, so we're really excited about the rest of the season going forward with having those two options, really.
Rodney's had a pretty big role in special teams, even as a starter in the past. I know you guys are kind of easing him back in, but will he have a role moving forward?
Once again, when time comes that Rodney does have to, he'll be ready. We're have enough depth at least at safety right there, where Josiah Scott was able to come back. We have Marcus, who's a really good player, so still have him easing his way back. But when time comes, Rodney has to come out there. He'll go out there, and we know he'll be ready for it.
It would seem, based on traits, Davion Taylor could be a special teams contributor. He took only 7 snaps. Is that because you're easing him back in from the injury, or is that performance related?
You know what? For Davion, once again, he's coming back also from an injury. He was out there on kickoff coverage, and the first one, you saw what he could do. He made a tackle inside the 25-yard line. And it's one of those things, going into the game plan, we're trying to put the guys in their best possible position right there. So we're trying to spread the wealth. But for Davion, he's getting back into it. He came up this morning. We were getting into the game plan for Carolina. So it's just really just easing him back in. And, Davion's been awesome. He wants to help in any capacity, whether that's defense or special teams. So getting those guys out there and, putting them in the best spot for them is what I'm trying to do, what me, Joe P., and Tyler are trying to do.
Is it fair to say that Shea Sherry has been an impact player for you?
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. He's got some versatility where we could do some game plan stuff, moving him around. He's been nails as a gunner. He made a huge tackle on Pringle on that kickoff. A one-on-one tackle against Pringle, who is a pretty good returner, strong returner. He came up, shot his gun, made a heck of a play. So Andre's done an absolutely great job, and he just keeps on getting better. Him and Zach, they're up in the office before the game plan's out there, trying to learn, trying to get ahead. And that's just professionals being professionals and getting better and getting more familiar with our coaching style and our game plan. And they want to be ahead of the curve, and they're doing a great job with it.
You guys have had a lot of penalties as a team, but on special teams, I think you only had 1 or 2. What's been the feedback from Nick about you guys' work as far as discipline on that end of the ball?
That's one of, when I first took this job, I really wanted to have a mantra of no penalties. That hurts the team, especially if you only get so many plays. And a penalty really hurts the hitting yardage, which Nick talks about a lot. So we're really conscious of that. It's not just myself and the coaches. The players, they hear us, harping on it. It all just comes down to the fundamentals and technique. That's what we do all through training camp, regardless of who you're going against. When we're able to do that and help the team out, not hurting us with those penalties, we're going to take pride in that. And that's what we took pride out when I was in San Francisco. I think we had maybe 3 or 4 the entire year. So we're going to keep harping that. It's only going to help the team more than anything else, is to keep those penalties off us and, help that team. A penalty on that 44-yard return really could deflate us. But guys had their hands inside, they were running their feet, they were doing what they're taught to do, and it helps us. So we're going to keep trying to do that, not just in special teams, but also offense and defense. Like, we were going to become a better team with the penalties.
Like last year, Jake struggled, especially on the shorter field goals, and he's been pretty automatic with that so far this year. I know you weren't here last year, but what are you seeing from him as far as that's concerned?
I think just him getting back to basics. I know, during the off season, he went back to and just going to what he did, prior to last year. Just staying fluid with everything, not, rushing anything, just staying within himself. And I think he's done an absolutely great job. But also, it starts with Rick with the snap. It starts with Aaron with the hold. So the more familiar they had, and they've been awesome working with each other and working with them. So just, keeping Jake in that mindset that he is, and he's in a great spot. He works his tail off from Wednesday to Sunday. He's ready to go, and it's starting to pay off for him again. And like I said, those 12 points really helped our team stay in that game against a very high-powered offense.
What stands out about Carolina's special teams to you?
They're a physical bunch. They got some guys, they got Daryl Johnson from Buffalo, who I remember playing against last year. He's a big 6'6" that could run. Julian Stanford, Frankie Louvu, there's some skill players that could run, and they're physical. And I think they kind of take after Chase. Chase was a very good special teams player in his career with the Giants and everything. So they've been doing a really good job in terms of creating mismatches with their physicality and their speed. So it's another test. Every week in and week out, it's going to be a test, because all these special teams are good this year. They provide different things to work on, but I think these guys, our guys, are going to be willing to go down there, stand up to the test, and hopefully help our team out again with the field position. Bring a spark for this team.
Take 2 more questions.
No more questions?
Cool.
Appreciate it.